Welcome back to our channel and our Cross Canada tour. This is episode 70 where we leave North Bay and make it to Mattawa, Ontario. The night before we stopped at 6 or 8 stores to find a new micro SD card, but to no avail. So we made our way over to the campground. We had a very slow start to our morning because we had such a long and difficult day before. Nevertheless, we were once again greeted by some very awesome camping neighbors. And because we lost a lot of our footage and photographs, we forgot their names. But we're very thankful for their hospitality and their generosity. They poured us a real cup of coffee. They made us a big breakfast and even packed some sandwiches for the road. Thank you so very much. By the time we got on the road, it was getting close to noon. And in order to pick up some new micro SD cards, we had to bike all the way back west to where the mall was located. Well, after picking up these SD cards and getting a quick bite to eat, we got back on the road and began our last leg of the journey to Ottawa, the capital of Canada. Biking into the wind really sucks, not to mention the storm that was brewing as well. And as we were biking to Mattawa, we got hammered in a downpour. Thankfully, there was a rest stop where we took shelter and hid under some trees. And just before this, we saw Tammy Dunlop from the Make It or Break It team drive past us in the RV. So we made arrangements to stay with the Dunlops and the Make It or Break It team at the campground in Mattawa, where we would stay for a couple of days. Enjoy the episode. All right, we're back in business. So we're at the mall in North Bay. That's the 17 highway over there. And we just had some A&W from the food court. We need to get to Walmart to get these SD cards, but my SD card could not keep up. It shut off, no recording. I had too much storage, so I bought 2 extra cards, so hopefully that'll get us into Ottawa and film all that we need to film for the rest of this trip, and hopefully we don't have any more problems with the camera. Here's our bikes. Here we are, loaded up, ready to go. See you on the road. All right, we're coming out of North Bay. We're traveling the 17. You can see the first sign for Ottawa. Check it out, Josh. See it on my right? Ottawa, the capital of Canada. Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. We're on the map. Coming out of North Bay, going to Ottawa. How cool is that? Okay, we gotta go up the ramp. Of course, it's a little windy today. We're gonna be biking into the wind. It's gonna be a little hard. 17 east to Ottawa. Here it is. Going up and around. Ottawa, here we come! Okay, our camera's back in business. It's flowing better. Actually, it's only 60. That's not bad. Pembroke's 210. Wow. Ottawa 370. There it is. Ottawa 370. Basically 4 days. hope we can make it to the campground before it rains. We hear almighty thunder in the sky. So something's brewing. We know it's gonna rain. Just hope and pray that it holds out till we can get to the campground. They said 10 o'clock, not 3 o'clock. Wow. Really wish we would have left earlier now. Starting to rain. Gotta pull over and get our dry clothes into the dry bag. It's pouring rain. We had to take shelter under these trees at Mattawa River. Alright, I put the Insta 360 away because it poured rain, but here we are in the town of Mattawa, 2,500 people, about the size of Beausejour. We're going to cross a little bridge and then we're going to get to our campground. We're going to stay with Tammy and Rick and Cameron and Colby tonight. So we're looking forward to some time of fellowship with them, having a bit of rest. Josh and I are pretty much in need of a rest day. So here's Josh. Whoa, don't pass, don't pass. Don't pass. All right. For those who do not remember, Joshua and I met the Dunlop family, the Make It or Break It team, just before Kakabeka Falls, Ontario. The Dunlops were biking across Canada and raising support for Alzheimer's. Since Josh and I spent 3 days in Thunder Bay resting, visiting family, and getting our bikes repaired, the Dunlops continued to ride east on Highway 17. And just before Sudbury, both Tammy and Rick noticed fluid leaking onto the rim and tire of the RV. Thankfully, they were able to get it repaired in Sudbury. But for 3 days, the Dunlops stayed in Sudbury to get some much-needed rest and went sightseeing. They even ran into Stompin' Tom, whose song we sang while crossing Saskatchewan. Here, check it out. Go find your way to the old Hudson Bay. Roll on, Saskatchewan, to the wheat fields of my heart. Go find your way to the old Hudson Bay. Roll on, Saskatchewan. Roll on, Saskatchewan. Roll on, Saskatchewan, to the wheat fields of my heart. Nevertheless, because Joshua and I were held up 3 days in Thunder Bay, and the Dunlops likewise in Sudbury, our paths crossed again just outside of North Bay, Ontario. Joshua and I saw Tammy drive the RV past us on the highway going toward Mattawa, Ontario. At our next rest stop, we messaged the Dunlops and made arrangements to stay with them at the same campground in Mattawa. We were under the impression that we could split the cost of one campsite, but no, the campground made both of us pay full price for one site. And I can tell you it wasn't cheap. At least the campground had very nice showers. We had a wonderful visit with the Dunlops, and we ended up staying 2 nights at the campground due to the rain. Thank you so very much for Tammy, for looking after her own family and us. We had wonderful meals and wonderful coffee first thing in the morning. And oh, did I mention that we had to pay full price for one site? Both of us? Both nights? On our rest day, Joshua and I had to do some major repairs and maintenance to our bikes. Thankfully, Rick came prepared and offered his bike stand. After our rest day, we got up early and said our goodbyes to the Dunlops. But this would not be the end of our time with them.
Good morning, everyone. As you can hear, it's raining. It's going to be raining all day. And Josh and I are dry as a bone in our tent. I don't know, it's 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. Just got up. So we're going to have to wait the rain out. Josh is still sleeping. And I think we're going to be stuck here most of the day because the rain is supposed to get about almost 3 inches. Kind of rained a bit last night, but it's starting to rain more steadily now today. So it started about 5:30, 10 minutes ago, and it'll continue on for most of the day. Nothing we can do. We have to wait it out. It's Wednesday, July 24th. I'll have to check that.
All right, Josh and I are just taking a walk on our rest day along the Ottawa River, I think it is. And we're just at this campground in Mattawa. So yeah, it's no kilometers today. It poured rain early this morning, kind of throughout the morning and even a bit into the afternoon.
Been
The sun,
on and off all day.
yeah, the sun peeked out a bit, but yeah, we're hoping that it totally dries up tomorrow, but it's not going to be 100%. We might get some showers. So we'll just have to wait and see what tomorrow brings. But this is quite a beautiful little spot in here, hey?
There.
Yeah. This river, if it's the Ottawa River, will lead right into Ottawa, 300 kilometers away.
Yeah. So.
Right on.